Hey everyone, the name is Kris Barocsi. Welcome to Gear Corner. Today we're checking out a brand new drive pedal that is really special, to me at least, for two very good reasons. First of all, it's a Chase Bliss pedal, which I'd never tried before. And the second is that it's a collaboration between Chase Bliss and Analogman. It's called the Brothers AM, or Brothers Analogman, and it is a combination between Chase Bliss's old drive pedal, the Brothers, and the Analogman King of Tone. It is super exciting. I will tell you all about it, but first let's hear how it sounds like in a track. The Analogman King of Tone, which is, well, I think a lot of you heard about that pedal. It's one of the most hyped, most hard to obtain drive pedals. It's really beloved. A lot of people use it, famous, not famous. You know, it's one of those special pedals. The new price is not really expensive for that pedal, but it's really hard to get because the waiting list is, I don't know how many years at this point, 5-6 years. So you get on the list, you have to be patient. So I love the idea of this thing, which is the Chase Bliss Analogman Brothers AM. I think it's AM, or maybe AM, not sure. But the pedal is a combination between the sound and features of the King of Tone, but with the modern, clever wizardry of Chase Bliss. So it's a MIDI controllable pedal. It has an expression pedal connection. You have all the controls on top, and it has some more stuff inside. It's not just the two identical 3-stage or 3-mode sides of the King of Tone. It also has a treble booster built in with the 2 modes. So a more traditional and a much more treble heavy aggressive setting. It does presets. If you use MIDI, it does a ton of presets. It's, you know, it's Chase Bliss. I get into the controls and the features in a second, but for all those who are too impatient to wait to hear this thing without a backing track, let's just do that for a second. This is going to be the Tele first going into the clean Rev D40 Dynamis. This is a very nice American clean sound amp that works really well with pedals. So that's going to be my normal rig. And then I'll turn on the Brothers. First the right side, which is the first channel. This is in the overdrive setting. And then the other side, which is the second channel, and that's in the distortion setting for even more saturation and more compression really. If you've ever heard or played the King of Tone, you know and recognize this sound, this chewy, very pronounced mid-range that is not like a clone, not even like the original Blues Breaker, because it has more hair on top and more low end. Oh, by the way, if you want to know how this guy compares to this guy, stay tuned. It's coming up soon on this channel. This is the thing, like this is the distortion setting, and the gain is like, what is that, 2 o'clock. If I dig in, this is how that sounds like. Same pickup. I don't change anything. Don't turn down the volume in the guitar, just pick lighter. And that is one of the key things that those people who really appreciate the King of Tone love about it. Okay, so let's see what the knobs and switches do. In the top row, you have gain and volume for channel 2 and gain for channel 1. In the lower row, you have tone for channel 2 and volume tone for channel 1. This can be a little confusing. They look like an L, but you can kind of see on the color of the markers which is which. So the yellow little stripes will showcase the knobs for channel 1, and the more purple pink ones for channel 2. So that's cool. You have volume, gain, and tone basically per channel. And then you have the toggle switches here, which will allow you to choose the amount of compression and gain, or the type of clipping really. You have boost here on the right side, here on the left side, per channel. Then you can go in OD, so overdrive, for both, or in distortion for both. Or, of course, what a lot of people do is you can go for, I don't know, OD for channel 1 that goes into channel 2, which is in distortion. With that, you have the most amount of gain, very tight, modern rock gain. If you want the first channel to be your drive, this is your rhythm sound with the OD setting, and one channel 2 for, I don't know, your clean boost, like boost without a clipping, you set this up for boost. So you go with your OD channel 1 into the boost channel 2, with which the volume of channel 2 will become your solo boost volume. And now if you take a look at the middle toggle, that is the Treble Booster toggle. In its middle position, the Treble Booster is disengaged. It's just the two sides going into each other. In the right position, you'll have a traditional sort of Rangemaster type of upper mid-range push that mid-hump kind of thing. And in the left position, you have a more modern, very much presence and treble focused, aggressive high push. The Treble Booster here is connected to channel 1, so you cannot have that anywhere else. If you turn it on, your channel 1 is going to control the channel 1 side of the pedal and the Treble Booster. It immediately, like, it transforms this Tele into like a Texas bluesy kind of Strat sound in a way, which is really cool. Okay, you might have noticed that this side lights up with a green LED and this side lights up with a red one. Normally, both are green. The red LED indicates that the high gain mode is active for that side. Now this is something that you only get on a King of Tone if you order your pedal with a high gain mod. And you also have to tell them which side, like is it the right or the left side that should have the high gain mod, or both, which is also an option, of course. Now, because this is a Chase Bliss pedal, you have those switches on the top side, and with that, you can turn the high gain mod on or off per side on the fly. One set of those switches is called control and the other is called customize. The control switches will allow you to decide what you want to control with your expression pedal, for example. And the other side, the customize, will give you the option of turning on and off the, for example, the high gain mod per channel. Or with the master, you can decide on channel 2's volume being a master volume for the whole pedal, which is, again, depending on how you use the pedal, that might be a very useful little mod. You even have the option of turning the bypass switches per channel into momentary switch, so that that channel is only active as long as you press and hold the bypass switch. And then the last switch in the customize group is the bank, with which you can access the secondary bank, because it does presets. This little toggle here allows you to use one preset or another. In the middle, it's your current setting on the pedal, so it doesn't use the preset. And if you engage that secondary bank feature on the customize switch, then you access a second bank for 2 more presets there on the pedal. Of course, if you use MIDI, you don't have to worry about that, because you can use a lot more presets and you can change every single feature of the pedal. And to check out how the Brothers AM sounds like with a very different amp, I will play it with the Friedman Plex, which is, in case you're not familiar with this amp, it's like recreation of like a 50-watt Plexi. It sounds amazing, but it's very different compared to the Rev D40. This is not at all like an American clean amp, and it's a little trickier with drive pedals. It loves fuzzies. It's like an old school amp, of course, but it's kind of trickier with drive pedals. Let's see how the Brothers AM sounds with it. But before I do that, my thoughts on the pedal. Well, first of all, it's a huge honor to be able to test this and get the pedal shortly before release. I am not at all disappointed. As told, I never checked out a Chase Bliss pedal before, and I was expecting to be a bit more overwhelmed by all the features and switches and everything. But honestly, it all makes sense, and I can immediately understand why some people, like very different players, would want all the switches in a different position and connect MIDI and do that kind of stuff. It all makes sense is what I'm trying to say here. It's not just, hey, we want to give you all the features, more is more. It's more about, hey, this is awesome, but that's awesome too. Should we decide for the player what we go for, or should we give them the option to say like, hey, I like the high gain option. Oh, I don't need the high gain option. Well, then you customize your pedal the way you want it. It's those little things that make a brand stand out. And I think Chase Bliss is one of those brands that really do have a very distinct, very clear direction. And I love the idea. I adore the idea of having an analog sound circuit, like the heart is analog, but the brain, the control is digital. So you have the versatility and all the modern options that normally multi-effects and modelers give you, but your sound, it stays analog all the way through, which is a really cool thing. It's not super unique at this point, but I think Chase Bliss is one of those very few brands that always inspires with these crazy features. I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't use all the switches all the time. I would probably just set it up the way I would use it and just stick to that and just leave all the switches where they are, and it's all good, except for a couple of extras when, I don't know, I have a song or a show where I need something very different. At least it gives me immediately the options. I don't have to open up the pedal. I don't have to mess around in the inside of the pedal, which is something you have to do with the King of Tone. You just do this and turn on the Treble Booster, and I don't know, maybe fool around with the little toggles on the front side, and the pedal is a radically different drive pedal all of a sudden. One of the most versatile pedals that gives you one of the most unobtainable sounds, the King of Tone sound. It's a unique mixture. It's a unique combination, and I really, really hope that there's not gonna be a 4 or 5 years long waiting list on the Brothers AM. Enough blabbering. Let's hear the Brothers AM with a very different amp. This is the Friedman Plex. See you down there in the comments, and see you next time in another video. Bye bye.